Welcome to the 12th episode of MedLife Mic Talk. We are your hosts, Alec and Alex. And guess what? The Giants
We
lose again.
we fucking lost.
Another week, another loss.
Another fourth quarter blown loss.
Yeah,
Another
to the book.
fourth quarter just I don't know. The Giants are what their record is. Heard it all over
Yeah.
the place. They are what they are. And I feel like it's not gonna get any better. I hope after this week, I know they're gonna get blown out by the fucking Lions. It's sad to say, but I hope after this week, I don't want to see Shane Bowen on that goddamn field ever. He better not be there next week. I don't
He-
even want him this week. I was so done with him weeks ago. I can't believe he's still on the team. I'm over it. I'm sick and tired. This defense is should be better than what they are right now, but it's just pathetic. Pathetic playing. Pathetic giving up like these big plays that make us lose in the fourth quarter. We could have had games that we should have won, but we blow it in the fourth. I'm tired, sick and tired of it. And also, I just want to say thank you, Sling and Fox, goddamn assholes. I couldn't see the game for like over 30 minutes because my thing was lagging. I only got to see the fucking first drive touchdown. But that's it for my rant.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of rants are coming from Giants fans. I mean, the best thing I can get out of this game is just like I'm just numb. I'm just numb to losing in the fourth quarter. So I was sitting with my father-in-law, and he's a Packers fan. And we were sitting and watching the game, and I was telling him exactly how the game is going to end. I said, you guys are going to go down and score, take the lead in the fourth, and then Jameis Winston is going to throw an interception. We're going to get close enough, and Jameis Winston is going to throw an interception finally in this game. And it's going to end up being the interception that costs us the entire game. So we're driving down the field. We're driving. He's throwing and then throws it in the end zone. And again, we know out of all the interceptions that he could have threw, this one wasn't really his fault. It was Jalen Hyatt's fault.
It
But that's
wasn't his
another
fault.
story we'll get to in a little bit. But he throws the interception, and I'm not surprised. I just sit there in disbelief. Like, this is just a reoccurring dream that we watch every single week. Just the Giants losing in the fourth quarter when it matters most. And it just goes back to what you said, Alex. It's just bad teams find ways, bad teams find ways to lose, and good teams find ways to win. And the Giants are just a bad team who can't find a way to win a game and finish a game in the fourth quarter because they do just enough to lose games in the fourth quarter. And their record says what they are. And they're 2-9, falling against the Green Bay Packers 27-20. And Jameis Winston, I mean, he looked pretty solid out there. It was a Jameis Winston type of game. He was throwing the ball all over the place and some good drives. And he delivered when needed. And it was definitely better than a Russell Wilson quarterback game. So that is definitely a plus,
I don't think
got
Russell
out of
Wilson
it.
would have been able to put 20 points up on the board if he was in the game.
He doesn't
So,
he doesn't target the middle
so I
enough.
give I give props to Mike Kafka for making the change uh, to have Jameis start this game. Um, obviously you can see the offense move smoothly. It's like having not like to what Jackson Dart would do, but a little bit. They were there. They were playing competitive, but
Correct.
again, they blow it up. They blow a lead against in the fourth quarter, like always, and it's to be expected. I mean, they do it to themselves. So
Yeah. Well, Jameis Winston's final stats were he was 19 for 29, 201 yards, 6.9 yards per attempt, one interception, zero touchdowns. And then One thing I want to talk about, before we get into some negatives, we have some positives to talk about. And the one positive, man, who would have thought this year, out of all the years, toughest schedule in the NFL, if you gave me a ball and told me this was going to happen and we were sitting here at this time, and the reason we're 2-9 is because of the defense and not the offense, I'd probably think you're crazy. And if you told me the biggest reason is because the offensive line has just been playing out of their minds this entire season, especially since Andrew Thomas has come back. Um, they're in the top 10 of offensive line in the league. It's crazy to watch to finally have an offensive line after a decade of every season ending. It's like, wow, this offensive line is just putrid. We can't figure it out. We can't score. But this year we're scoring points, we're in games, but the defense can't stop anything. I call them Swiss cheese because there's just holes everywhere.
It's
And
like reversed. It's like the offense was playing like shit and the defense was kind of doing all right.
yep,
And now it was to be expected that the offense was going to be doing better and the defense was supposed to be
just
phenomenal.
average, just
But now
average,
it's the
really.
offense is carrying and the defense is just blowing it. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, what the hell? What? Like, I don't know how much longer Shane Bowen's got left uh, this year, but like I said, I hope he's gone by like either this week or next week. Like, because I can't. I'm tired of seeing this defense just blowing the lead and losing like close games because they got to close it out, man. With our record, we should be better, but the way they're playing, obviously, like I said, like they are what they are. But if those close games that we lost and the defense played better and had those stops, we wouldn't be 2-9 right
Yeah, I mean, at least
now.
we would at least be like 5-6, at least in the talks around our table on Thanksgiving and the holidays, like, oh, like we could maybe squeeze in a wild card. But every time before Halloween, season's over. It's depressing. It's sad. It's pathetic.
I'm
Uh,
surprised they didn't come out with the thing saying that we're eliminated from playoff contention already.
eh. Well, we are officially ending the season with not a 500 record. So we're going to under below. So again, another season we're going to end, not with a winning record. So that's fun. But back to the offensive line real quick. I mean, the rushing in the game, Tracy and Singletary, solid games. Tracy had 88 yards, 17 yards was his longest run, and Singletary 44 yards, and then 7 yards was his longest with two touchdowns for Singletary. The rushing the offensive line had their way, and they just continued to just pound them the entire game. And by the third and fourth quarter, the Packers defense was tired. And that was the one thing about Kafka that he kept the aggressiveness throughout the game with the rushing attack, which I liked. It was great seeing Isaiah Hodgins out there. It's pathetic that he was out there and making more plays than some of these guys that have been on the team the whole year.
He
Isaiah
played
Hodgins,
freaking good. He played a solid game for just being in a building for 4 days. What, like 3, 4 days?
yeah, yeah.
You know, pretty, pretty good.
So
Welcome
since
back.
so since we're on the receiver topic, we're gonna talk about
Jalen
our
Hyde's got to
guy.
go.
Yeah, Jalen Hyatt, man.
Asshole.
He gave himself a game that he could have dug himself out of a hole from the Giants organization as a whole. Because Brian Dable was not a fan of him. Brian Dable's no longer here. So Mike Kafka was definitely looking at the situation like, hey, I'm going to give this kid a try. If he can live up to the moment, that's great. We'll live to another week. He caught a few balls, two catches for 18 yards. 14 yards was his longest catch. So this goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning of the episode about Jameis Winston and the interception at the end of the game. Um, so Jameis Winston were around like the 20-yard line. They were throwing I think a flat route to Hyatt. And Hyatt just stopped running his route midway, um, and then ended up causing an interception because he wasn't even in the spot where he was supposed to be. So very frustrating, just very frustrating. This guy, there's a couple players like Tay Banks, and Jalen Hyatt, Evan Neal. We were kind of talking about this before, the episode. Those three guys, Joe Shane drafts two of them that Joe Shane traded up for, Jalen Hyatt and Tay Banks. And Tay Banks is a first round pick. And Tay Banks is a Giants player I do not want to see with the Giants uniform ever again in my life. Um, I get so frustrated every time he's on the TV. Because anytime there's a touchdown, guess who's there every single time? Tay Banks. And guess who doesn't make a play? Tay Banks. Guess who doesn't turn around to make a play? Tay Banks. Guess who doesn't even try to make a play? Tay Banks. But yet this
Guess who gets
guy,
pass interference penalty calls on? Tay
Tay
Banks.
Banks.
Holding Tay Banks.
Just name it. It's just anytime what I say every week, anytime Tay Banks is on the field, bad things happen. And it continues to prove my point. And it's like sad because it's like this kid was supposed to be special in some sort of way. I didn't even think he should have been even been drafted in the first round. I didn't like really like his college play coming out of college. But I thought it was going to just at least be a solid cornerback, but the kid just can't learn to just turn his head around, make a play, because he's there all the time when the ball's there. He just doesn't turn around to make the play. And then when there is a play, like a running back running towards him or running in the middle and he's somewhat there, you saw in this game, he just doesn't put the effort to make that tackle. And he just walks around like it's just like a regular day at the office. And it's like, bro, you are about to play in the CFL if you continue to play like this. So it's I don't want to see him on the field again. I'm so over it. And Jalen Hyatt, you had your chance, bro, to prove yourself in this game to at least the Giants fans. But yet you were outperformed by Isaiah Hodgins, a guy who's just been on this team for 4 days, who was literally in the facility learning and prepping for another game when he found out that he was getting put back on the Giants team to fly back out to New York and was out there starting the whole game. So that just shows you the incompetence that Jalen Hyatt carries himself and the confidence that Jalen Hyatt doesn't even have for himself. Because every time, the one thing I do notice this every single time he's out there, and if he is out there at all throughout the rest of the season, Alex, I want you to watch this. He is so confused and he has no idea the playbook out there. And it's so obvious. The quarterbacks, like when they motion and they like go back and forth or like they do little quick motions, they're yelling at him to go on the other side. It happened again in this game. Janahi ran on the wrong, he was set up on the wrong side. And Jameis Winston and Tracy are yelling at him to get on the other side before the ball snapped. It's like, how do you not know the playbook by now, bro? It's just, but this is the issue that it's been reporting outside the locker room is just like he's not taking it seriously. And it's affecting his overall play on the field, and now it might affect him having a job in the NFL at this point because of him never being prepared and never playing in big moments of this game ever. So it's sad, but that's what the New York Giants season is this year. It's just sad, just sad.
Sad, depressing.
So talking about another draft pick, a little off topic from the game, but it's not really too much off topic. But at the start of the game, defense goes out there. I notice right off the bat, Abdul Carter's not out there. I'm like, that's weird. Go on Twitter to see. I was like, did he miss an injury or something? Giants reporters are confused as well. Then the news comes out yesterday that Abdul Carter was potentially asleep during the walkthrough for the game and missed the walkthrough. So Mike Kafka, as a punishment, made him benched him for the first drive. Appreciate the accountability. I have no issues with that. But the issue that I have here goes back to what we've talked about in the preseason. And this goes back to Brian Dable. because this is a Brian Dable issue, even though he's no longer here. This is still a major Brian Dable issue. Is that's country club style that he carried himself in the facility and overall practice. Practice was never taken too seriously. It was never too hard. It was very laid back and easy, especially for his favorite people. His favorite people are Malik Neighbors, Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence. Brian Burns is not in that, but because Brian Burns does not act like that. And you could tell Dexter Lawrence has like a different tone this year. And it's not a good tone. The way he talks to the media, it's very like attitude coming off, like very like snarky to the media. And he hasn't had a good year. We've known that. We've been talking about that for the last couple episodes. He hasn't had a good year. Um, and then Abdul Carter, very quiet-ish year as well. The last few games have been terrible for him. It's been his worst games. And now you have a guy, and now it's coming out that he's been late to multiple meetings this year. And he's been hasn't been on time for several meetings. And it's just unacceptable. Like this behavior was accepted this long, and now accountability is being held week 11. Week 11. Now he's getting punished for falling asleep and missing a walkthrough. It's not like you're just slipping and like missing like film room or something. You're missing a walkthrough for a game. And regardless, he tweeted out saying that he was, rehabbing and he fell asleep there. Doesn't matter. The reports came out saying that this has been an ongoing issue all year. So it just, the Giants make the news in such bad ways, week in and week out. Like last week was Dable, the firing, that was all over the place. And then this week you got Carter, um, falling asleep during the warm-ups or like before the prep for the game. And then, oh, very overblown. I don't care about this, about Scatterbo being at Monday Night Raw last night. Like now you got the New York media trying to attack him, and he had a tweet out saying like, "I'm gonna do what I have to do. I'm bored. I'm trying to have fun." Like it's
He's
not
not gonna.
serious.
He's just. What else are you gonna do when you're hurt? I mean, right now
Exactly.
he's probably live on Twitch right now,
Yeah,
or I
he
think he
is.
was live
He
on.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No.
like let the man have some fun while he's injured. Like it sucks not he's not doing what he loves right now, so he's got to find some other things. Just granted, he doesn't like do anything crazy. I mean, it was great seeing him on Monday Night Raw, you know, but
Yeah.
um, just just let him be. He's trying to fucking just have some fun and try to get this injury. I'm not saying he's just depressed, but when you're in that, you don't want to be hurt. You want to be on the field with your teammates. You gotta
Exactly.
at least have some fun. So
Yeah. So we're starting a new thing this episode, and it's going to be we're going to do this every game from now to the end of the season. We call it the MedLife Mike moment of the game. So it could be the good moment, bad moment that changed the game in some way. What would
Jalen Hyatt stopping his route,
there you go. All right.
dickhead. That's my moment.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a huge moment because that was the game changer of the end of the game, solidifying that the Giants are officially going 2-9. Yeah, I completely agree on that
And
aspect.
he gave up on his route.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was a defeated man after the game when speaking to the media. You saw it. And now you have NFL legends, after the game calling him out regarding, him giving up Tiki Barber, Amani Toomer, all these players calling him out. So it's not good, not a good look. Again, you had a chance here, kid, to prove and shut up everybody. And not only you didn't do that, you just made it even worse.
Now you
Uh,
probably just dug yourself like lower on the depth chart.
yeah, and probably out of a job in the Giants. And not even being dramatic about that. My MedLife Mike moment of the game that I thought was the bad that changed the game was Jameis Winston almost throwing 4 picks in the game. and throwing in double coverage
Oh
multiple
yeah.
times. So when he was doing this throughout the game, again, this is what a Jameis Winston game would look like. He's a special ESPN guy, 30 for 30. If you know, you know. So, so Jameis Winston throwing in double coverage multiple times in the beginning of the game, it really occurred, and should have been two almost pick sixes. If the Packers defense knew how to catch the ball, not hit their own player to knock the ball out of their hands. That's when I knew, and I was like, oh, this is going to either end where Jameis Winston finally throws his interception and it's going to be at the end of the game, or Jameis Winston, we drive down and we score like to tie the game and we're going to go for two and Jameis Winston's just going to like do something so dumb where he's either going to throw the ball like way over, it's not even gonna be close, or like throw it to the ground on like on the 2 point conversion. And Mike Kafka came out and said that if they scored in that drive and the game-winning drive, he was going for two regardless. So I was almost right on both levels in regards because I said that he's either going to throw an interception or they're going to go for two and we're going to lose the game 26-27. And that's exactly what happened. He threw the interception, game was over. Of course, like I said, the actual interception wasn't really his fault, but I knew an interception was coming because the way he was throwing the ball in the beginning of the game, and I was like, it's his actual interception is going to come at such a bad moment. Because like if you threw it in the first quarter, you're like, yeah, that sucks. Like it's anytime you throw an interception is bad. But when you throw it in the fourth or like the last drive where you have to score is when I'm nervous that he was going to throw the interception. So when he actually threw the interception, I was like, not surprised. And again, just numb. So, okay, good.
Still a little laggy. Still a
Oh,
little
yeah.
glitchy.
All right. So I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming
I
game.
don't know. I don't know. You're a little glitchy on my end.
Yeah, you're fine on
Can
my end.
you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Now you're good.
All right. So I want to talk about the upcoming Detroit Lions game we have coming up in Detroit. I think it's a 1 o'clock game. Oh, and now Alex froze. Oh man, here we go again. So we got the Detroit Lions game coming up this Sunday, and definitely nervous about this game. I think they're going to end up getting blown out pretty bad here. Jackson Dart should be returning, which is exciting.
Yeah.
We're back. Awesome, awesome. I don't know what just happened. I don't know if this is even going to continue where we just were.
Is it? Is it still the same? Is this a new session or is it the
Yeah,
same one?
we're about to find out.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah,
Well, wait. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
yeah. This is just the type of episode it's going to be, I guess. But we're almost done at this point. I was trying to get to the point of talking about the Lions game coming up on this Sunday, and it is concerning in regards of the defense handling the rushing attack on Detroit. In Detroit too, especially coming off another loss from Detroit. They're going to come off angry and probably have over 200 yards rushing on the Giants. And I'm not even being dramatic. I told you this before before we logged on. I think this could be a game where it could get very ugly defensively. I do think Jackson Dart coming back is going to be a good thing, fun thing to watch.
It'll be a competitive game, but defense is gonna blow it.
Yeah, I think
Um,
the defense is not going to be able to hold them, and I don't think it will be a close game. It's not because of the offense. I just think the Lions offense will outscore the Giants offense just massively here. And I could just see it being a I think it could be the first blowout of the season and be a very ugly loss, which would cause maybe Shane Bowen being let go of his duties.
Oh,
Um,
I hope.
yeah, I don't want to have a blowout loss though. I think those like really like destroy a locker room. The Giants locker room is already kind of like destroyed. So I feel like it would just make things so much worse than what it is now. Um, so I'm very concerned about that. I'm hoping they keep it close, but I don't think we're going to win this game. Um, I think same thing goes to you. I don't think you think we're going to win this game either.
Nah, Jameer Gibbs. I need the points for my fantasy, even though I don't want them to get wrecked, but it's just the way the defense have been playing lately, and just poor playing, poor defense. Shane Bowen's got to go. I mean, I know the offense will definitely be putting up points, but I just have no faith in the defense right now, or I haven't for a while.
Yeah.
But we'll find out on Sunday.
Yeah. We will find out on Sunday. As always, this is another episode. Hopefully the Giants shock us and we win. I don't know. Can we
Yeah,
play some actual meaningful football defense? Can we like have some heart out there? Because the offense shows heart out there week in and week out. So that's all we could ask for on that end. But there's some big changes coming in the near future for the Giants. Coaching to all coaching staff. It's definitely going to be an interesting thing that, we're going to be talking about on our episodes in the off season, who the head coaches candidates would be, who the head coach interviews would be, and who the head coach is going to be at the end of the day, and who the defensive coach is going to be, because very confident that Shane Bowen is not going to be the defensive coordinator at the end of the season. If that just means he's just going to get let go after the season's over, or from now until the before the end of the season. But either way, there's a lot of big changes coming from the Giants organization as a whole, and we're going to be here talking about it. So subscribe, like, comment. As always, we appreciate you. We'll be back next week to discuss the Detroit Lions facing your New York Football Giants.